At some point in life, priorities shift, not suddenly, not dramatically, just slowly enough that you don't notice it happening. And that's where The Alchemist begins. There was a time when something mattered to you more than it needed to make sense. Not the version you tell people, the honest one. The one that made you feel alive without needing permission. And then life taught you other skills, how to manage expectations, how to be practical, how to survive, how to call letting go. Maturity. That wasn't weakness, that was adaptation. And The Alchemist understands that. The book calls this original desire your personal legend, not because it's grand, not because it's heroic, but because it's personal. Almost everyone has one, and almost everyone abandons it before they even realize that's what they're doing. What's uncomfortable about The Alchemist is that no one fails because they're incapable. They stop because they find something that's good enough, a job that pays the bills, a routine that feels stable, a life that looks fine from the outside. And slowly, the fear of losing that comfort becomes louder than the fear of losing yourself. That's not a flaw, that's human. The book never shames you for stopping. It knows why you did. It knows how heavy responsibility can feel, how survival quietly replaces curiosity, how practicality slowly drowns out intuition. The Alchemist doesn't tell you to burn your life down. It only asks you to notice what it cost. The story talks about signs, omens, the universe speaking. But this isn't magic, it's attention. It's what happens when you stop numbing yourself with noise, with busyness, with distraction. When you finally slow down enough to hear the quiet discomfort you've been calling nothing, not wanting more success, not wanting more money, just wanting alignment. At the end of the story, the treasure is found where the journey began, not as a twist, as a reminder. You don't travel to become someone else. You travel to remember who you were before the world taught you to be reasonable. The journey doesn't change the destination, it changes you. So if this book feels familiar, if it feels a little uncomfortable, but also strangely comforting, that doesn't mean you failed your life. It means you remember something you once knew. And maybe the book isn't asking you to change everything. Maybe it's just asking you to listen. What part of you have you been quietly keeping alive, just in case one day you're ready to listen again?